Hi, this is Tech Queens by Andre, where I do predictions of the future. If you'd like me to do prediction field, let me know in the comments below. Just a reminder, we got lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark it down on your calendar so you do not miss out. We got Domino. Hello, Domino. He always likes to sit on Daddy's lap while we're doing the thing. But let's get into the show today. We got the wife on deck as well. Hello. Now, the first question of today is Bitcoin Cash. Does it have a future going further out into 2030, 2035? That sort of thing. Many cryptocurrencies that we know and love today are not going to be around for long. Okay? There's a lot of these coins that usually don't have any utility, or they don't solve any actual situation going forward. Okay. And they're just there to make some money and all that sort of thing, but they have no real world use, really, that is better than actual Bitcoin with the Lightning Network. Now, Bitcoin Cash is one of these that's a very close contender for usefulness out into the wild. Is as if we're going to be, well, we will be using cryptocurrencies in the future. Utilization in the world and ease of use moving forward into the world. So let's have a look. We'll throw some cards down. Waiting for all the people to come. We got 3 people today. Maybe everybody fell asleep and forgot or something. I don't know. So let's get into it. So the first card that I see here is the letting go card. And this is the health of that particular situation, of the question of Bitcoin Cash in 2030. It seems that it's going to be something that's, we're going to have to let go of old situation moving forward. I do think it does have a life beyond 2030, but I don't think it's going to be as much as many of the other cryptocurrencies that we're using right now, especially Bitcoin. We got a lot of the elites buying that Bitcoin, okay, the BTC, not the BCH. So we're going to have to let go of many of the situations, what it's going to be used for, okay? And in that, I think it's going to be actually finding a spot within the entire cryptocurrency system that they're trying to build behind the scenes and all that sort of thing. The second card, making music. This is the health. This is the health. This is the wealth spot. So the wealth, I think, is going to be doing okay overall. I think because it does have some usefulness moving forward, I do think it's going to be making a lot of people a lot of money if we're going to be getting into that anytime soon. Me and the wife got a whole bunch of free ones because we had Bitcoin already, and that Fort, if everybody remembers back in the day, and we got a whole bunch of free ones. So we just held on to those and keep on with that. So it has to become the thing, okay? And it is kind of the thing in many parts of the world that are not the United States or Canada. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of traffic on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, unfortunately, but it does have some uses, and I do see it being used into the future as a secondary. That also would be going to Litecoin and other coins that are like Bitcoin, but are a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to see a whole bunch of different coins taking on the roles of the day-to-day financial system. You go to the store, you buy something, and you're going to be using your Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash. Okay, so you have to think of it in that situation. And of course, we got the miracle healing card and the people that are associated with this particular project. That's our people. So I'm thinking that it has to overcome many of the stigma that it has with this particular cryptocurrency to move forward with this one. So it still has a lifespan beyond 2030 and all that sort of thing. I know people are saying that cryptocurrencies are going to disappear. And no, they're here to stay. Okay. And if you're not into them quite yet, you might want to reconsider that moving forward, because cryptocurrency is going to be the way forward for many countries around the world for everyday commerce and all that sort of thing. So, in short, I think Bitcoin Cash does have a future beyond 2030. It's going to be changing its way and it's people's perspective of it going forward, okay, and what it can be used for. So yes, it's going to do okay. Not as good as Bitcoin, but it will do okay into the future. Okay, let's move into the next question. Somebody was asking a question about an update on silver for the next 30 days. Lots of things going on there. I haven't been watching Wix. He has his own channel here on YouTube. And I've been watching him, but he keeps saying that there's going to be an explosion in price. I don't think it's going to be within the next 30 days, but there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that are going to add up to that. Okay? It's the thing that China, Russia have done with one another, especially silver for manufacturing, which is a huge industry. And they're not giving it to the Western world. They're going to be exclusive with one another. And they did that many months ago. They signed a deal with one another. And where do we get a lot of our silver for manufacturing? That's in China and Russia. So if they're not giving us those things, guess what? The price of silver is going to go up quite considerably. But let's have a look at for the next 30 days what silver is going to be doing. Me and the wife enjoy a nice stack of coins ourselves. Probably going to get another one. It's going to have harmony within the next 30 days. I think a lot of things that have been holding it back are going to be released. The manipulation in this time period, the 30 days from now, is going to start to crumble as many of the financial systems around the world start to crumble as well. And that sense of control over all the things that are good commodities to get into are going to be being released. And it's the moment in time when we're going to start to see the banking system start to falter in a bigger way. It's already faltering now, and I think people are going to be rushing to cryptocurrency, silver, gold. It doesn't hurt enough yet. So in the next 30 days, you're not going to see this huge rush of those commodities. Unfortunately, people do not do things before it happens. It's while it's happening. unless you're like us and just are crazy and buy things because you already know what's going to be coming down the road. So it won't be in the next 30 days. I think it's going to do okay. I think we're going to see a nice price increase as we move along, but not to huge things that people are wondering. I do think silver is a great long-term hold. You got to stop thinking of these things as short-term money-making situations for yourself. Okay, that includes crypto and gold and silver. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a long-term strategy moving forward to safeguard yourself against the people that are doing all kinds of wonderful things with our banking system and our other assets that we may be into. So think of it that way. But in the next 30 days, I don't see any huge increases with silver and gold, but it is going to be creeping up there in the next 30 days. Okay, hopefully that answers those questions. Let's get into the next one. Somebody is asking the question on the Discord channel. Join us on the Discord. Link is in the description just to let you know. Somebody was asking the question of vadic astrology says something unusual will happen to the U.S. on the 24th of September, which is coming up very, very soon. You're welcome, Silver Geek. I guess that was the person who asked the question. You had a card malfunction? Yeah. And those are the cards that we will be using, because that's the universe's way of saying use these cards for the reading. Okay. And it's 4 of them this time. So something weird. Which, when I read it, I go, weird? Right now? Weirder than what we've already been going through? We have to make new descriptions of what is weird and what is not, and what's happening in the world today. Or unusual. We have to redefine everything these days. Just a tertiary look. I think everything is going to be changing for the worst in the next little while. There are those things with masks coming up very, very soon. I think that is going to be a thing that's they're going to be using in this time period to keep us locked up again. And you pair that up with what's going to be happening in the U.S. at that time. It's election season. Oh, you can't. You have to use the computers to go vote. And then they're going to be mucking around with the voting. We got to be careful with our language. Well, that is going to be a thing at that period of time. And of course, the economy is going to be crashing more if they lock us down even more. Okay. So I think that is what's going to be happening in that time period, or probably a little bit before that period of time. Moving forward, they're going to try to do this. Okay. But I don't think it's going to be working out as much as they figured it was going to. Okay. They have these grand designs on trying to do all these wonderful things to the populace. And I don't think it's going to be working as well as they anticipated. Okay? So just be ready with that. And that would be another unusual thing that's going to be happening in the U.S. on the 24th. The bar is raising higher and higher, and what's unusual. Other things, I do see something happening with Mr. Biden at that period of time, and there's going to be some type of change that's going to be happening in the leadership in the U.S. at that particular time. And I think a lot of other leaderships are going to be changing as well around the world. So pay attention to that. There's going to be another mask thing. I think I can say that safely here on YouTube. And something about going to a place and putting your piece of paper into a box is going to be affected as well. So pay attention to that. And it's probably when we did that 2024 election thing video, there was for the remote viewing, go back and go watch that. There was some interesting things that came up in that remote viewing. Okay, so yeah, go have a look at that one. There's going to be some interesting things. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. What else we got? COVID again? We got to be careful. The cookies, the what's the code word we used? The coof. That's the thing that you can actually say on YouTube without getting the YouTube finger wave. Again, going back to the other question, I do think that they're going to try it. It's not going to work out all that well because the reaction is going to be a little bit different than what was last time, because people are hopefully a little wiser than the last time. And they're going to be bringing out other things again. So yes, they are going to try it, but it's not going to be working out as they anticipated. Okay, they wanted everybody afraid again. And I think we're getting into a period in the world history where people are not going to be as compliant. Okay, got to be careful with the language. Okay, so hopefully that answers that question. Yes, it will happen. Okay, what do we got next? Trump. Again. If you've been watching the news, he was arrested. He's got his mugshot on every thing. Of course, he's free. It's one person they can't put in prison or jail or anything like that, because by law, the president needs a bunch of bodyguards. What are you going to do? Put him in a cell and every cell around him have security? Yeah. But they're trying, because they're definitely afraid of Mr. Trump. Okay? So let's just throw some cards down for that situation moving forward. We're going to have some peace of mind coming up. This is the health of the particular situation. Mr. Trump is, we'll say Mr. T, in case he gets picked up by the algorithm. Mr. T will be fine. He has that peace of mind, and it's going directly of his plan. It's part of his plan to have this happen to him. Interesting. So everything that the other guys are doing to him is backfiring, and we keep seeing this over and over and over again, that it keeps backfiring on him, and he's using it to his advantage. Pretty much what I said in the very beginning of all these indictments and all that sort of thing. So Mr. T is going to be coming out on top of those things. So the last ditch effort, and all the last three questions are all linked together, because they're definitely afraid of Mr. T. They're going to be doing all the things, especially with the masks, putting people under lock and key and all that sort of thing, to make sure that they win everything in the next little while. Okay? So expect this. Prepare yourself. Have a little bit of extra canned goods in the thing, because I think a lot of things in the September 24th are going to be a little wild. So just be ready with that. The more ready you are, the more you understand what's going on, the better prepared you can be to face these new challenges moving forward. Okay, let's look into the next thing. Flare Network, the 100-time gem. Okay, it's more of a statement, but let's throw some cards down for that. Is that statement correct? I don't think it's going to be having that happily ever after that everybody was thinking. You didn't put a time frame into it, but it probably will get to that 100 times itself, but it will be much longer. And if you're patient, it will happen in a certain period of time. In 2030, 2035, it'll probably 100 times itself in that time period. Peace of mind. I think there's going to be some disruption within the Flare network for the next little while because of some bad news and something like that, which happens quite a bit in the crypto world. And we're going to have to let go of many of the things that the people that are holding on to the Flare or part of the Flare network are going to have to let go of some preconceived notions of what this particular cryptocurrency represents. I think they're going to have to do some changes within Flare network to make it more viable for the end user. And that's what the disruption I'm picking up with the Flare network. Nothing bad. They're just changing their product for the end user so it's more usable for the end user, and it's usable moving forward, right? And that's smart business. But with that happening, everybody's who's in it right now are just going to get a little antsy, and they may do some knee-jerk reactions and all that sort of thing. And there's probably some bad news that comes out about these changes, and everybody's going to panic. People. And they're going to be running away with all that sort of thing. So Flare network, yes, it's going to get to that 100 times, but it won't be till 2030 approximately. Okay, it's going to do well overall, but not for quite some time. Okay, hopefully that answers the question. Hi, Andre. Could you ask your board if Zen will ever reach 0.0002 USD by 2025? Okay, board. What do you say? I'm thinking he wants a pendulum reading. I like this new setup. I'm hoping you do too. So the question. So it's going no. Maybe not by that date. Let's see if it'll go up to that 0.0002 anytime. And it's really weird that it's going round and round. It's when a pendulum board does that, or your pendulum does that, it's usually that information is not there. Maybe something that's going to be happening to Zen in that period of time. It may be something that happens and kind of knocks it out, or it's going to be changing in some form in that period of time. So it could get rebranded, or some bad news comes along and knocks it out of the running, or other things. Okay, let's ask if it's going to go through a little bit of a rebrand, a rework in that period of time. Yeah, it's saying yes. Will Zen be around? So it was saying yes, it's going to go through some type of complete workaround or complete change in that period of time. Maybe something happens and it's not viable and all this sort of thing, or it just doesn't really survive in its present form. Okay. And it's not usable by the people in that period of time, or something naughty happens along the way, which happens as well. So I do pick up in that period of time that Zen is going to be going through a huge change. So Zen itself in 2025 may be completely different than what it is today. So it's probably why it's not picking up. It's going to that 0.0002 in that period of time. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. When comparing ADA, Cardano, and Solana, which do you find having the better returns this bull cycle in 2025? Solana, I'd be really careful of, because they keep turning on and off their blockchain, which just tells me that there's not an actual blockchain per se, where Cardano does. But with that said, and this is why you have to be very, very careful of Solana, even though it's very popular and people keep bailing it out, I think it's going to be Solana in the next bull cycle that's going to be doing a little bit better than Cardano, only marginally. Okay. Let's throw some cards down for that. And this is what I'm basically picking up at the top of my head. Yeah, detoxification. I think Cardano is going to go through a certain period of time where it's going to get some bad press and it's going to be dragged through the mud. Solana is going to be doing a little bit better overall, price wise. But if that's the only thing that you care about in this period of time, I think Solana will be doing a little bit better than Cardano overall for better returns in the next bull cycle. Cardano, I think, will keep going without any problems like Solana does, and just be clipping along. Okay. And increasing and becoming better and all that sort of thing. I think the long term for Solana, I think it's shaky because of their situations that they have. Okay, so if you have to choose between the two for the next bull run, Solana. And now I'm going to get a lot of comments on what I just said. Okay, let's get it to the next one. I found a cat on the road last night. He seems to have recovered. Should I bring her back to where I found her? If it's just on the side of the road, you might want to keep it and put some notices up and all that sort of thing to see if anybody claims the cat. Because you just don't want to leave a cat out in the wild like that. Or just go in that area where you found the cat and knock on doors and see if anyone claims it. Okay? I don't think you want to just leave it out in the wild like that. Okay? Just my opinion. And it's basically my second. Just knock on doors in that area, see if anybody knows who the cat is. Okay? Thank you for that. And happy hunting for the cat. What's your Bitcoin high for 2025 in US dollars or Canadian? In the next bull run, I do think it's going to be getting to the 125,000 range Canadian. I think I've explained this quite a few times. So this is going to be in April. Okay. When the happening happens, always goes higher. So 125, 200,000. And then it's going to drop down to the old high. So the old high will be the new low. So Canadian, it got up to 80,000, right? Does this every time. So it's going to go up, 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 up. And everybody's going to get pile in. They're all going to get crazy and all this sort of thing. And then it's going to come down to 80,000. Not a bad. It's right now it's 40,000 Canadian. So you're pretty much going to be double. No, it's 35 or 40 Canadian. So that's not bad. You're doubling your money in a short period of time. And of course, when it does go up, you can sell some cream off the top, pay some bills and all that sort of thing. But that's my prediction for the next bull run. Okay. That was the last one.
Yeah.
Hopefully you like our new setup here. It's Trump again.
Well, I have to go click it off. I have to go click it off.
Oh. Okay.
It just goes whatever was last on the other page.
That's true. If you'd like a personal reading with me, make sure to go to sacredreadingsbyonder.com. All that information is there. If you like a personal healing with my wonderful wife, that information is on sacredreadingsbyonder.com. If you'd like to protect your cryptocurrency in the best possible way, make sure you go to sacredreadingsbyonder.com, where we have an affiliate link that leads you to Treasure Hard Wallet. And if you should happen to purchase one of those wallets through that link, we get paid a little bit of money. Make sure you join us on our Discord, which is in the description link, or you can go to sacredreadingsbyonder.com, where that link is also to be found. With that said, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.